Welcome to G5F TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. Big shout out to the sponsors of the channel, my boy Fast Classic. This mixtape is in the description box. It is absolutely free. Definitely give him a download, give him a listen. And my boy Matt. Definitely check his apparel out on IG at We All From. Now, what is next for Sergiy Derevyanchenko? He fought Triple G for the IBF title. It was a damn good fight. One of the best fights of the year for 2019. And he lost a close decision to Triple G. A lot of people felt like Sergiy Derevyanchenko won that fight. Worst case scenario, a draw. Me personally, I had it 6 rounds to 6. Triple G got the knockdown, so I had Triple G by a point. Now, I could have easily gave it to Sergiy Derevyanchenko. There was probably about a good 4 or 5 swing rounds in that fight. For the people that don't know, a swing round is a round that could go either way based off of how your criteria is in judging a round. That's what a swing round is. Now, Sergiy Derevyanchenko, moving forward, he's kind of just in limbo right now. He's really in limbo right now because he looks so good in that Triple G fight. There's not going to be a lot of guys that's going to want to actually fight him because he is high risk, low reward. And we see this a lot in boxing. Him fighting Triple G, he did some really good things technically in that fight. He was doing, early in the fight, within the first 6 rounds, he was doing a lot of what I like to call pivot and go. What he was doing with Triple G is he was actually walking up to Triple G in a straight line, and then he would pivot to the left or pivot to the right, and then he'll just start ripping body shots on an angle. And Sergiy Derevyanchenko was doing a great job of that early in the fight. He was turning him. He was turning Triple G for the first half of the fight, doing that same pivot and go move, and he was killing Triple G to the body. He actually hurt Triple G to the body in that fight. And the referee, Harvey Dock, actually stopped the action and was telling Sergiy Derevyanchenko to keep him up. It was a perfectly good body shot, and Triple G almost buckled from them body shots. And Sergiy Derevyanchenko did a great job of doing the pivot and go. And then on top of that, Triple G has this thing where he likes to take a quick breather. He'll throw a combination, and then he'll take a deep breath, and then he'll back up and take 2 or 3 steps and then basically reset. Sergiy Derevyanchenko wasn't allowing Triple G to reset. When Triple G was trying to back up and reset, Sergiy Derevyanchenko was following him out the back door and was continuing to throw shots at Triple G. He wasn't giving him any time to breathe. He was smothering Triple G a lot of times. He forced Triple G to actually fight. His marketing phrase, which is Mexican style. That's the first time I've seen Triple G fight quote-unquote Mexican style in my life. And the only reason he fought Mexican style is because he had to fight Mexican style because he was going to lose that fight if he didn't fight the way he did. Now, Sergiy Derevyanchenko, I'm not surprised that he fought this way. He fought the same way against Danny Jacobs, but Danny Jacobs does 2 things as a boxer that Triple G does not do. Number one, Danny Jacobs will counter shots. He's a good counter puncher. He will counter shots. So you can't just throw whatever you want at Danny Jacobs and think that you're just going to throw these shots and you're not going to get nothing in return. No, Danny Jacobs is going to counterpunch. And Danny Jacobs really turned up the last 3-4 rounds of that fight against Sergiy Derevyanchenko, primarily because he was allowing Sergiy Derevyanchenko to be aggressive, and Danny Jacobs was using his aggressiveness against him, and he was basically having Sergiy Derevyanchenko run into shots while he was trying to come in on the inside. He was running into a lot of shots against Danny Jacobs, so I thought he clearly lost that fight. But those are the 2 things that Danny Jacobs had to do to win that fight. And Triple G doesn't do those things. When you fight Triple G, you can get off a 4 or 5 punch combination against Triple G. All he's going to do is block. He's going to block or back up He'll try to get out of range of the shots, and then it's kind of like, I go, you go, you go, I go. That's how Triple G fights. And he just trusts that his smoke is a lot more potent than yours. But going forward, Sergiy Derevyanchenko has a lot of options from a boxing hardcore fan standpoint. If I was Sergiy Derevyanchenko, I'm going to DAZN. I'm like, I need Demetrius Andrade. Not for December. That's too quick of a turnaround, but I'm talking sometime in 2020. We always talk about how Andrade hasn't fought nobody and Andrade need opponents. Sergiy Derevyanchenko, Demetrius Andrade, that's a fight. That's a fight. Like, if I had to choose, that should be the top fight on Sergiy Derevyanchenko's list. Demetrius Andrade. Because if he can get Triple G trouble, he can give Andrade trouble. And it's just a really, really good fight for Andrade as well. It'll get him in a competitive fight, because if he wants the Canelos and the Triple Gs and all that, he got to face a Sergiy Derevyanchenko and beat a Sergiy Derevyanchenko. It'll be good for him going forward. So that would be the primary fight for Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Outside of that, if Al Heyman allows Jermall Charlo to fight on DAZN, or has Sergiy Derevyanchenko just come over to Showtime, Jermall Charlo, Sergiy Derevyanchenko, that's a damn good fight. That is a damn good fight. And even though Sergiy Derevyanchenko is a high-risk, low-reward guy, Sergiy Derevyanchenko could possibly be the IBF champion right now in a lot of people's eyes. So you could technically look at it and be like, Sergiy Derevyanchenko is a champion, so we should treat him as if he's a champion. Because a lot of times they'll be like, oh, it was a robbery, Sergiy Derevyanchenko won that fight. But then when you mention Derevyanchenko, they don't treat him like a champion. Like, if he beat Triple G, then he would be the IBF champion right now, in your eyes, if you had him winning that fight. So when you talk about future fights for Derevyanchenko, you have to treat it as if he's a champion in your eyes, because you felt like he got robbed in that fight with Triple G. So there's not a problem saying Derevyanchenko should be in there with Andrade. There's not a problem with saying that Derevyanchenko should be in there with a Jermall Charlo or another top guy at 160. There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's this phrase in boxing where people will say, oh, well, he's the uncrowned champion. You know what I'm saying? Or he's the people's champ. Derevyanchenko could be the people's champ at middleweight for his performance against Triple G. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of people that think that. So I think the promoters, the networks, they should do right by Sergiy Derevyanchenko and give him a big-time fight in his next fight. Now, that cut he had was nasty. It's going to take him a little while for that to fully heal, because we've seen another guy that had a cut like that in one fight, took time off, and then reopened back up in the same spot, and that was Anthony Durrell. When he fought Avni Yildirim, and he had that nasty cut and the fight got stopped, and then he had that same nasty cut again against David Benavidez. So Sergiy Derevyanchenko has to be careful in regards to getting that cut taken care of. I don't know if he might need to have some type of surgery, get some scar tissue from up out of there. I know Gabe Rosado got that done a long time ago, so I don't know if he wants to do that, but he needs to get that cut taken care of correctly and give it time to heal. And I think his next fight should be either against Demetrius Andrade or Jermall Charlo. I think that's a great fight for both of those champions, and it'll give Sergiy Derevyanchenko an opportunity for another belt, which I think he does deserve. I usually don't promote guys getting another title fight after they had a title fight loss, but it's so many people that felt like Derevyanchenko won that fight. I wouldn't mind him getting another title shot in his next fight. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.